Picture this. You're at a local market and you witness a lengthy negotiation over the price of a cauliflower. Yes, a cauliflower. Is this a scene from a comedy sketch or an everyday reality in India? Let's dive in. India, a land of diverse cultures, traditions, and economic practices. It's a nation known for its frugality, but is this really a fair assessment? Or could it be that the Indian economy and spending habits are just fundamentally different from other countries? The Indian economy is an interesting one to explore. It's the world's third largest economy based on purchasing power parity, PPP. This economic measure adjusts the GDP of a country to reflect the purchasing power of its currency. In simple terms, it's about how much bang you get for your buck. So what does this mean for the average Indian consumer? It's quite simple. The lower cost of goods and services in India means that people's money goes a lot further. Therefore, it might seem like Indians are cheap, but in reality, they're just spending wisely within their economic context. Now, let's compare this to a country like the United States, the world's largest economy. The average American consumer has a higher income, but also faces higher costs for goods and services. This means that while Americans might spend more in absolute terms, the relative value they get for their money might be less than that of their Indian counterparts. This comparison is not to say that one economy is better than the other, but rather to highlight the different dynamics at play. Each economy has its own strengths and weaknesses, and consumer behavior is shaped by these factors. So, are Indians really cheap? Or are they just savvy consumers operating within their economic framework? The answer, as with most things in life, is a bit of both. Indians, like consumers everywhere, are looking to get the most value for their money, but the economic context in which they operate makes this a far more nuanced issue than it might seem at first glance. In conclusion, the Indian economy, with its unique dynamics and consumer behavior, offers a fascinating case study in global economics. It challenges our preconceived notions about spending habits and forces us to think more critically about how economies function. So the next time you see a lengthy negotiation over the price of a cauliflower, remember, it's not just about being cheap, it's about getting the most value for your money. And isn't that something we can all relate to, regardless of where we're from? Globalization has had a profound impact on economies worldwide, and India is no exception. But how has it influenced Indian spending habits? Let's take a closer look. With the influx of multinational corporations, India has seen a significant rise in consumer culture. International brands are now commonplace in Indian markets, offering a wider range of products and services. This has led to a drastic change in the Indian spending habits, with Indians now more willing to spend on high-quality, branded products. But this globalization has also led to an increase in the cost of goods and services, forcing consumers to be even more discerning in their spending habits. The savvy Indian consumer, who is used to negotiating for the best price, now has to contend with fixed-price goods and services offered by these multinational corporations. However, this does not mean that Indian consumers have abandoned their value-for-money mindset. As they become more exposed to global brands and trends, they have become adept at balancing the desire for quality with the need for affordability. They are more willing to spend, but they still want to ensure they are getting the most value for their money. Globalization has certainly changed the game, but the core principles of value for money remain deeply ingrained in the Indian psyche. It's not just about spending money, it's about making sure every rupee spent is worth it, and that is a testament to the savvy Indian consumer's adaptability in this ever-changing economic landscape. As we look towards the future, India continues to grow and evolve, and so too will its spending habits. But what might the future hold? Let's explore the possibilities. First, there's the rise of digital payments and e-commerce in India. With the rapid advancement of technology and increased internet penetration, more and more Indians are turning to online shopping. This shift towards digital transactions and e-commerce is not only changing where Indians spend their money, but also how they spend it. The convenience, variety, and competitive pricing offered by online platforms are encouraging Indians to spend more and more often. Second, we cannot ignore the impact of India's burgeoning middle class on consumer behavior. As incomes rise, so does the propensity to consume. The growing middle class is likely to demand better quality goods and services, leading to a shift from traditional value-for-money purchases to more aspirational spending. Lastly, we consider the potential influence of Western spending habits on the Indian economy. With increased exposure to Western lifestyle and consumption patterns through media and travel, Indian consumers may start emulating these habits. This could further fuel the consumer culture in India, leading to higher spending on non-essential goods and services. Only time will tell how these factors will shape the future of Indian spending habits. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a fascinating journey. As we move forward, the savvy Indian consumer will continue to adapt and evolve, ensuring that they get the best value for their money no matter what the future holds.